ago, 2 years ago, it's like on the 2017 December's, I experienced a very major, devastating, and unexpected life change throughout my life, and even today I cannot accept this change psychologically. Like this is a change that I'm still denying. 2 years ago, I was a very happy, very energetic, very like a girls, and I was having like I can talk to my parents every day. I can talk to my mothers every day, and I possess the hopes of after I finish my study, and I will go back to China. I will live with my parents, and I will just have a very peaceful life, just like any others of my Chinese friends. I thought my life would go like peaceful, stable, and also like 2 years ago, before 2017 December's, I have a very strong emotional attachments with my families. Like I can talk with my mother every day. Every day I spoke with my mother's 1 hour through WeChat, like WeChat videos chats. I share every single things, like what happens today, what did I eat, what did I cook, what person I met, all of the small things. Like even I meet a little bit like these small problems in my life, I will talk to my mothers and just complain or just feel relief after talking to her. But I lost my emotional attachments. In 2017 December, just middle of December, my mother just left a voice message to me over the WeChat saying that I will go to Beijing and will reach out to you after I arrive. I was like, yeah, I'm expecting that video call, like that calls from my mother's. But 2 and 3 days passed. No one called me. My mother didn't call me. I was like calling her for several times. No one answers. I pretty much like calling all of my family members, like my grandparents, my fathers, my mother's students, my mother's friends. I asked everybody, where's my mother's? And they said like, she might not convenience to answer your phone, but she's fine, so don't worry. I was like, actually I was possessed the hopes of she might can actually answer my phones. She might be called by the police for several days because police wanted to investigate her. She will return home because she didn't committed any crime. She didn't involve in any politics. She didn't do anything dangerous. She is just a professors, teachers. But 1 and 2 months passed. I was like, my mother's disappears, and from December to January, I couldn't function. I just stay at home. During that time I was job searching, but I don't have any energies to do any job searchings because every day I just stay at home and think, where is my mother's? I could not function to do anything. And I accepted the fact that my mother's, I finally know that she is being detained after 1 month pass. It affects my life a lot because I used to have emotional attachments with I have people to talk to. I have my mothers to tell everything in my life. I can openly talk to her. But I have no one to talk to right now. So I don't have my emotional attachments anymore. I'm just like an isolated, lonely island in this world. And in the past, I was planned to go home, and I never thought that I would stay in the United States for the rest of my life. But because all of those things happened, because of the dangers to Uyghurs, I cannot go back to my homes. I'm the only child in my house, so my mothers used to tell me, you cannot stay in the United States. You have to go back because when we are getting older, you have to take care of us. So I was remember that I agree with that. I will certainly go back to Xinjiang, go back to your, go. I won't stay in the US. I will go back and take care of you when you are sick. But right now, I have to stay here for the rest of my life. And even today, I cannot accept that. My mother's just like most of you in this room. She's a hardworking person. She puts family first, and she believed in good. She believed in if people's work, like being a good person and working hard, and they deserve a good life. And people like that in China will get awarded, will have a good retirement life. But instead, my mother's, she gets punished by the Chinese government. Chinese government's detaining her, putting her in, I don't know where she is right now, concentration camps, prisons or jails or any place. But I know she's in a place that she don't want to be. Like she don't have freedoms, she cannot get enough nutrition, she cannot like have fun activities. I am worrying about her safety. So Chinese government, instead of like awarding her to become a good Chinese citizen, instead they detain her. I told you all of the sad story not to make you feel sad or just devastated you, but to tell you all of you can help my mothers, can help all of the Uyghurs being detained, the poor, like the people like us who lose our parents in Xinjiang. So last year's August, I decided to speak out for my mother. I decided to fight for my mothers, and so I spoke out on the New York Times opinions channels, and I also make several testimonies online to raising the awareness of my mothers. Last year's, we also, like on the 2 years anniversary of my mother's disappearances, we created a website called freemymom.org. You can.
I don't think the internet isn't.
Okay. So we created a website called freemymom.org. On that website, you can see my mother's story, who she is, and her research. And also, there's a petitions on this website to like ask the Chinese government to release my mothers. And please help us. Please go to this website, sign the petition, and share. And my testimony is also on this website. Please share the testimony on this website, and please share any news about my mother's and others Uyghurs being detained. And I believe that right now the only reasons that I am fighting and living in, I believe is all of the good peoples like fighting together. These situations can change. All of the poor detainees like my mothers will be released, and we will have a safe life again. So small actions can actually help. I'm not wanted to devastate you right now. I'm just conveying a message. You can actually help my mothers or help any others millions of Uyghur who is currently suffering. Thank you.